Next, I'm on page 503 in my workbook, my guided practice. I've gone ahead and already highlighted some of the important information that I'm going to need in some of my problems. The first one says a sandbox is shaped like a rectangle. The area is 16 square feet. So I've drawn my rectangle, and I know that the area is 16 feet. The sides and the length are whole numbers. What are the possible dimensions of the sandbox? Do all possible dimensions make sense? I'm trying to find out. These two numbers, and I know that both of these numbers multiplied together have to get 16. So that's asking me to find all possible factors of 16. Well, I can do that with my factor rainbow. 1 and 16, 2 times 8, nothing times 3, then I go 4 times 4. So all of my possible dimensions could be 1 by 16, 2 by 8, 4 by 4, and then I can switch it. I can do 16 by 1 and 8 by 2. All of those give me my area of 16. Now, it says, do all possible dimensions make sense? Well, if I think about it, I'm building a sandbox. Would it make sense for me to have a sandbox that's only 1 foot by 16? That would look like a really long sandbox like this. Or even maybe a tad bit longer for a 2 by 8. That would just be a really long sandbox and not much area for you to really play and build with. So I think that the most one that makes sense is going to be the 4 by 4 in order for me to play with my friends in the sandbox. So realistically, my 4 by 4 is going to make the most sense for me to build my sandbox. Number 2, write and solve an equation to find the width of a room if the length of the floor is 8. Okay. So 8 feet. I don't know what my width is, but it says my area is 96. Area equals length times width. 96 equals 8 times something. That means I'm going to do 8 into 96. I want to go ahead and do my big 7. 8 times 10 is 80. 16. 8 times 2. 10 plus 2 is 12. My length is 12 feet. Moving on up here to number 3, it says find n. The perimeter is 46. That means all 4 of these sides equals 46. Well, if this side is 8, That means that this side has to be 8. So I know 2 sides already. 8 plus 8 is 16. I have to find what's left. I know my total is 46. 46 minus 16 is 30. That means that both of these sides added together have to equal 30. So I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get 15. So each of these sides is 15. Number 4, find N and A. The perimeter is 26 centimeters. All my sides added together are going to be 26. I also need to find the area. Well, just like this problem up here, I know that if this side here is 9, this side over here has to be 9 because they're equal. 9 plus 9 is 18. I have a total of 26. 26 minus 18 is 8. Both of these sides added together have to be 8. So I'm going to divide it by 2 for my 2 sides. And that gets me 4. So N equals 4. And now I have to find my area, which is length times width. So 9 times 4 equals 36. Look at this one. Find the perimeter. Everybody recognize one of these? It's probably been a while since you've seen these. Fractions. Find the perimeter. Okay. I have side plus side plus side. This is a square, which means all sides are equal. So all my sides are going to be equal to 5 1/2. So 5 1/2 plus 5 1/2. 1 plus 1 is 2. My denominator stays the same. 5 plus 5 is 10. I know that 2 over 2 is 1 whole. Add that 1 whole to my 10, and I get a total of 11 for 2 sides, right? So these 2 sides added together are 11. I have 2 more, so a 5 1/2 plus 5 1/2 equals 11. Then this 5 1/2 and this 5 1/2 has to equal 11. So that means I add 11 twice, and I get 22 yards for my perimeter there. Moving on down to number 6, it's telling me to find N. It gives me a side width of 6 and a length of unknown, but it does give me my area. That means that 60 equals N times 6. Well, what times 6 is 60? 60 divided by 6 is 10. So N equals 10 feet. Number 7 needs me to find N. The perimeter is 65. So all my sides added together are 65. Well, they give me one side, 11 2/4, which means that this side is also 11 2/4. I need to add those two together to see how much I have so far. So 11 2/4 plus 11 2/4. Okay? It's going to be kind of cramped, so I'm just going to do it over here. 2 plus 2 is 4. My denominator stays the same. 11 plus 11 is 22. Well, 4 over 4 is a whole. Add the whole to 22. So that equals 23. Well, I have 23 with these two sides. I have a total of 65. So I'm going to take 65 minus my 23. 5 minus 3 is 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. So I have 42 inches left, and I need to divide that by 2. 42 divided by 2 is 21, which means n equals 21 inches. Number 8, doing kind of the same thing where I'm trying to find a missing side, and they're giving me the perimeter. Okay. I'm going to stop really quick. And this almost looks like a perfect square. I'm not going to assume that though, just because it looks like it. I'm still going to follow my math just to make sure, because I need to make sure that it adds up to 84. Okay. So this side is 22. This side has to be 22. Find out how much that I have so far. 22 plus 22 is 44. I'm going to subtract my 84 or my 44 from my total of 84. 4 minus 4 is 0. 8 minus 4 is 4. So now I have 40 left split between these two sides. So 40 divided by 2 is 20. So n equals 20. And it's a good thing that I didn't assume that this was a perfect square, because now my sides are actually two different lengths. These two are 22 and this one is 20. So it looks the same, but it's a rectangle, not equal. Last one on this page says a rectangle has a length of 9 millimeters and an area of 270 square millimeters. What is the width? What is the perimeter? They've already drawn my rectangle for me, which is nice. If they hadn't, I would have redrawn it. It gives me my length. It tells me that my area is 270 square millimeters. I need to figure out the width, and then I'm going to add them all up. In order to find out the width, again, I'm going to have to divide 270 divided by 9. Okay, so let's go ahead. 270. Okay. Well, I can do 9 goes into 27. I know that 3 times, and I have an extra 0. So 9 times 30 equals 270. So my width is 30 millimeters. I'll write that over here for my final answers. Now I have to add up all the sides for the perimeter. If this side is 9, this side is 9. If this side is 30, this side is 30. 30 plus 30 is 60. 9 plus 9 is 18. Add those both together, I get 78 millimeters. And those are my final answers. So quite a lot of math that we did here. I will pull it up so you can see, and then you can pause the screen to go back and double check. Make sure your work looks like mine and that you have all your answers. I have made sure to box all of the answers, and that's on page 503.